Hello, and welcome to World of Wonder. Today, we're taking a closer look at trout, one of the most well-known freshwater fish in the world. Found in cool rivers, streams, and lakes, trouts are known for their adaptability and their important role in aquatic ecosystems. Let's dive in and discover what makes them so fascinating. Trout can be found in many parts of the world, from the Rocky Mountains to the rivers and lakes of northern Europe and Asia. For centuries, they have entrusted scientists, fishers, and nature lovers alike. However, trout are more than just a popular fish to catch. Their unique biology and fascinating life cycle make them an important part of freshwater ecosystems. To understand why these fish are so fascinating, we need to look a little deeper. Let's start with the basics. They are freshwater fish that belong to the salmon family, known scientifically as Salmonidae. Most trout live in cool rivers, streams, and lakes. However, some species are anadromous, meaning they migrate from the ocean to freshwater rivers to reproduce, just like salmon. But have you ever wondered where the name trout comes from? It can be traced back to the ancient Greek word traktes, meaning nibbler. As they grow, young trout are known by different names, such as fry, fingerlings, and troutlings. Knowing where a species lives can help us understand it better. So, where are trout found? Their native range includes North America, Europe, and Northern Asia. Some trout species have also been introduced to Australia and New Zealand. However, these introductions have sometimes had a negative impact on native species and local ecosystems. However, where trout live is only part of the story. The conditions of their environment also affect how they grow and survive. These fish prefer cold water, usually between 50 and 60 degrees Fahrenheit, 10 to 16 degrees Celsius. Water temperature has a strong effect on their growth, and they continue growing throughout their lives. Some trout can live for more than 20 years in good conditions, although their average lifespan in the wild is usually around 6 to 7 years. Trout have several physical features that help them thrive in rivers and lakes. Their fins are soft and flexible, helping them move easily through the water. All true trout also have a small, fleshy fin called the adipose fin near the tail. Another noticeable feature is their coloration. The spots and patterns on their bodies are not only attractive, but also serve as camouflage, helping trout blend into their environment. Another interesting feature of trout is their color. Their appearance can change depending on the environment. Fish that have recently returned from the sea are often silver, while those living in rivers and lakes usually have brighter colors and clearer markings. Wild trout generally display more vibrant colors and patterns than fish raised in commercial fish farms. Beyond their appearance, they also have interesting behaviors and life cycles. Although some species spend much of their lives in the ocean, all trout, salmon, and char reproduce in freshwater. Most of them lay their eggs in cold, flowing water by creating shallow nests in gravel called redds. While Atlantic salmon can spawn more than once in a lifetime, Pacific salmon complete their final journey and die after spawning. Like many animals, trout go through several stages during their life cycle. Water temperature plays an important role in how quickly the eggs develop and hatch. After fertilization, the egg develops rapidly and becomes an eyed egg after about 14 days. Depending on the water temperature, it hatches within 30 to 100 days. About 1 month later, the young fish enters the avon stage and still carries a yolk sac, which provides food and energy. After another month, it becomes a fry. At this stage, it develops vertical markings called parr marks that help camouflage it from predators as it grows in the river. Reproduction is part of the trout's life story. To survive and grow into adults, young trout must learn to find food from an early age. Trout are opportunistic predators, meaning they will eat many types of available prey. When they are young, their diet mainly consists of aquatic insects, larvae, and zooplankton. As they grow larger, they begin hunting smaller fish. Although trout share many similarities, they are not all the same. There are many different species and subspecies of trout, each adapted to its own environment. Let's look at some of the best-known trout species around the world. The brook trout, Salvelinus fontinalis, is a small species that usually grows to about 9 to 10 inches in length. It is the official state fish of several U.S. states and the provincial fish of Nova Scotia. Another well-known species is the brown trout, Salmotrata. Native to parts of Europe, Asia, and North Africa, It has since been introduced to many other regions around the world. The greenback cutthroat trout is known for its conservation story. At one point, it was believed to occupy less than 1% of its historical range in Colorado and Wyoming. Other notable species include the coastal sea trout, the golden trout, which is the state fish of California, the bull trout, which can grow up to 41 inches long, and the rainbow trout, Oncorhynchus micus, one of the most widely distributed trout species in the world. Finally, let's explore the relationship between trout and humans. For centuries, trout have been an important food source for both people and wildlife. Many predators, including bears, otters, raccoons, and eagles, rely on trout as part of their diet. The fish is also valued as a food fish because of its mild taste, tender flesh, and high content of healthy oils. Trout have long been a favorite fish for fly fishing because they are careful and difficult to catch. This makes them an interesting challenge for anglers. Today, many anglers practice catch and release fishing, returning trout to the water after catching them. As a result, some trout become even more cautious, helping support both recreational fishing and conservation efforts. Whether we study trout for their biology, their role in ecosystems, or their importance to conservation, they remain fascinating fish. From a tiny egg in a cold mountain stream to an adult fish living in rivers and lakes around the world, trout have adapted remarkably well to their environment. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the world of trout. We hope you learned something new today. Until next time, goodbye.
Thank you all for watching this here video. Please like and subscribe.